Let's go!
Hello everyone, this is my vlog going from Chiang to Bangkok with an overlay in Doha and finally arriving in the United States. So first of all, I went from Chiang to Bangkok to Suvarnabhumi airport, and I found that there were so many self-check-ins and so many just automatic machines that I just never knew about before because I don't really travel a lot, so this just came as a surprise for me. This vlog is primarily going to be like a travel vlog, so I'm not going to be showing you guys what I actually did there. What I actually did there will be on a separate vlog because it was quite a lot of content. But yeah, I arrived in Bangkok airport, and then we checked in, and these were some of the fancy shops. Obviously we don't really get a lot of these when we're in Chiang Mai. The Chiang Mai airport is so tiny compared to this. Oh, by the way, I traveled all by myself all throughout this, so if you want any comfort in watching this just might help. E4 was my gate to board Qater Airlines because this was the airlines that would get me to Doha for the overlay. The overlay was really long, it was like whole night, but this flight was actually longer than the flight from Qatar to Boston, so this was a longer period, and I had a really funny seat and I absolutely loved it because it just gave me more leg room. So yeah, and this was me arriving in Qatar. So in Qatar at first I actually didn't need to throw away the water or something, but apparently the second time when I went out I needed to throw away the water. But yeah, Qatar airport is one of the most well-known airports because it's just so pretty there. They have the really iconic Blair, which will be shown later on in the video, and they have this adorable green grass area which really feels like Chiang airport, and the convenience stores and just all of these luxury stores that are here in Qatar airport are so much bigger than the ones in Bangkok. So I was just very surprised because I've never seen such huge and fancy airports. There was like an overnight overlay, so actually I could have slept, but I was very alert because I was very scared I was going to miss my flight, because obviously I didn't have anyone with me, and so because of that I stayed up. And actually during this I didn't have like an international like a telephone, so I had to like get like an international telephone literally the night before. And now I boarded into the Boston airline, and so yeah, we arrived finally in Boston. There was a really quick check-in. It was like the immigration line took quite a while, but then I just got on the orange line and I had to go into like Northeastern, which was where I planned to go. Then this was me going to New Haven because I had a program at Yale, and then we went back again to Boston, and now it's sort of like a shopping vlog because this was one of the subways, and after I got out of that subway we went on to one of the trains because they're really popular here in Boston. I use them literally everywhere I traveled, and these were some of the sceneries that I saw when I was there. So this was after my programs finished because during the programs I was so busy I could not like literally go travel anywhere. But yeah, after the program we just explored Boston, and then when I also went shopping a lot, we went to see a lot of like the bridges. This is quite like in the center of Boston. This was like more of like a wealthy area. A lot of the communities that lived here were quite well off, as you can see, with their housing, with their cars. And I think the lake, like the right here, is actually their private lake because it was like they had like an art club or something like that was just right there. We were shopping for TJ Maxx's, and this was the first time I saw Maddie and Mackenzie Ziegler like on the poster billboard, because obviously I don't have that when I'm back in Thailand. And yeah, in TJ Maxx there's a lot of cheap items that are really high quality. So they're not cheap in the sense in general, but they're just really high quality. And yeah, this was again, I used the subway so much when I was in Boston. I love the subway system. And then we traveled to one of, I think, a north end or something, like just one of the bigger streets, and these were like the streets where there were like huge TJ Maxx's, huge like Verizon shops. It was just a very famous area, and there was a lot of consumers there. And we went to a lot of the stores. This was an H&M store, and actually I realized H&M was actually more expensive than the TJ Maxx stores. And yeah, we just looked around for a lot of clothes, a lot of basic supplies. A recommendation coming from me is that when you go to shop at TJ Maxx, it's really good to look at the clearance, because the clearance, it has like even better deals than you would have gotten by just looking at the regular deals, although they're already really good like deals there. And yeah, we explored around Boston a lot. The Boston train system took a little while for me to get used to, but it's just so easy once I got used to it. And I still have some tickets and stuff. And then we moved to JFK and UMass in that section because our flight was leaving from there, and so we went to some of the TJ Maxx's that were nearby JFK and UMass. that was like a whole different area, because JFK and UMass is quite far from the center of Boston, and so center of Boston was where Northeastern was, but then obviously after the program we went away because we had to move closer to the airport so we could catch the flight. Yeah, I really like some of the bottles that were available here, and a lot of like the suitcases, the toys, the yoga mats, but I actually didn't get a yoga mat. I actually saw a cork yoga mat. I should have got that, but yeah, it's just, in TJ Maxx, if you get a deal, just snatch it, because by the time you come back to it, you will never find it again. And I found like a couple of TJ Maxxes that had really, really good deals, and some of them that were just like mediocre, and our shopping came to like still quite a high price even afterwards, but it was just a lot of really good quality products that like we actually needed. This was near the Harvard area, so we went on this bus, and then we had to pay extra because somehow we got lost. And I think near the Harvard area there is like a huge station, and then we went on the wrong bus because we went to like a zoo place for some reason, and this was just on the way back because it was like all like medicine, like pharmaceuticals, and we met a lot of people on that bus like coming back. That pretty much ended my US trip, and now we're flying back. So again, on my way back, we had to stay overnight at Doha. And one important tip is that before I left for Doha, I actually researched a lot. I researched for like terminals where I could sleep, for terminals where it was quiet, for terminals where there were security guards, just so that I could be safe when I was there. But on the way back, I had my mom with me, so it was obviously a lot safer. But on the way there, it was really scary for me because I was all by myself, and I was really scared I was gonna miss the flight. So yeah, on the way back, it was pretty much really smooth. But just do your research, and if you have any questions or anything about Doha, or anything that you want to know how to like stay overnight or do an overlay there, don't worry, because it's really safe there. And maybe because I went like pretty like late at night, so there's hardly anyone. Yeah, and we got back after like I would say 3 weeks, and this was just us in Bangkok, and then we stayed for like no time, and we flew back to Chiang Mai.